I'm fucking here. Daddy's going to take that pussy back and fuck the shit out of her while she tells you what that bull did to her.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes.
Welcome back to Swapping Secrets. My name is Jess.
And my name is Lawrence.
And if you guys haven't already, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. The more follows we get, the better we get. Today's topic is taking on part 2 of what we were talking about a bit earlier.
Yeah, did our sexual desires mess us up? Part 2. So in the last episode, if you don't recall, Jess and I were just talking about the origins of the club, our relationship, and some of the things that we've been interested in or experiencing in just from questions, based off questions that were sent into us via social media. So thank you for everyone who sent in those questions. Today's episode, we're going to be responding to some voice messages, some video messages, and some questions from our members area on our website. So in case you don't know, we do have an online members area where you can join, make a profile, talk stories, share photos, make meetups and all the things like that. It's like a dirty Facebook.
It is a dirty Facebook. It's very sexy and it's forever growing, guys. And the more members we can get, the merrier it's going to get.
So thank you to all those people who have sent in the stuff. I can't wait to get to it. I haven't watched it. Gabe is withholding information from us. But yeah.
And also, as always, because we do have just the tip, Gabe has come up with another debaucherous game for us. Reddit, you hear that. So where did you hear that but Reddit?
Where did you hear that?
There we go.
Where did you hear that?
Yeah. But let's jump in deep. Lawrence, do you want to take us off?
All right. I am going to
read some of our members' writings.
Starting with the members' posts, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so the first message I've got here is from Joe and Chris from our online members area. Yay, we get to be the first to pose a question for the next podcast. As previous guests, it's only fair, lol. Our question is around rules. We have them and we generally stick to them. How do you deal with a couple that you're friends with that constantly change their rules, sometimes mid-play? And we get while it's their rules, but how do you, as the other couple, deal with that? You just go with the flow as it's their rule, or do you stop, possibly kill the vibe in order to ascertain if they are sure they want to break that rule? After all, we don't want to be seen as the couple that made them break the rule or facilitated them breaking the rule.
I mean, that is a very fair point. And you've been put in, I guess, a sticky situation. But look, I can see both sides of things where you don't want to be the party poopers and be like, guys, like we really need to reassess what's happening here. You've communicated one thing, something's changed. Let's make sure we're on the same line. I think that's sexy in itself. And I think when you start to feel sexy that you're taking control of the situation, you're making sure that everyone's having a good time, that's when I think it won't dampen that situation and you won't be the ruiners or, you know, you're pushing them to do something. Like, definitely to pull back and have those conversations.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Because, I mean, the mood is already in the question. It's just like you're worried about killing their mood, but your mood is already killed by the situation they've been placed in. With that uncertainty and that trepidation, walking on eggshells, you'd be going, I've known this not to be okay before, but now it's happening. What the fuck? What do I do?
Yeah.
You need to stop and you just check in with everyone. And if they go, yeah, it's cool today, great. And you're going to all have hot sex. If they wig out like, why did you check in? It's just like, well.
You communicated one thing and now we're doing something different. I've yet
to hear of someone's rule saying we have a rule that you're not to check in with us.
Yeah.
Because that would break our boundaries. I'm like, if that ever happens to anybody, I would say these aren't your people.
Run for the hills.
So yeah, definitely
and if they're
check in.
Your friends as well, they should really understand, like, you're definitely coming from a place of love and care, and the reason you're checking in is because not only is it consensual and that's, you know, the best way about things, but they're your friends. You want to make sure they're okay.
100% have a preamble before things get into the bedroom. Like, hey guys, our thing is we always check in if we think something's up. You're not okay with that? Tough cookies. we're still going to check in. And then in that moment, if you, like I said, if you feel, because you are going to feel way hotter and way sexier, as Jess was saying, once everyone goes, yep, the DP is definitely okay today. We're all going for
Such a butt boy.
Yeah.
But what's next?
All right, next from Tiger Couple. All right.
Yeah. Actually, I know who these people are.
Gabe! Sorry, there's an exclamation mark there. Love the podcast. Our question is for Jess.
Yay!
Right. Our biggest fantasy right now is attending 3Cs. Oh, yeah, it is.
Me, I don't even count me, Keiko.
We're organising a private DP for Elle. Hey! See, I'm not just the only one. Not a first time with two guys, but first time with anal. Any tips or tricks for a good time? Very nervous. Thanks in advance. Ellie and John, they add. Those are our pseudonyms. EXO.
Yes. I think we've had this conversation together, this couple. We've already spoke about some stuff. But let's go through them again because I think this is a good tip. At least personally, this is what I have found works best for me. Butt plugs. But I think I've talked about butt plugs quite a few times through our podcast. If I know I'm coming up to a situation, or at least it's like a week out to us having like a DP session, or even my brain's gone into like naughty, let's do anal this weekend, I start the word stretching. I'm going to use the word stretching. Start just practicing like having different objects, mainly butt plugs, in your ass, so then you can sort of get that momentum and that feeling. Shower. Use it in the shower because the more comfortable you get, the wetter and the easier it's going to get. And then
arseholes don't self-lubricate.
That too. And my biggest thing as well, especially on the day, I think this is my hard and fast rule where it always makes it better in my head, is that I always have my partner go on my ass first. So it's like a safety thing where I'm like, if he can come into me and it feels comfortable, my brain automatically goes into, I'm comfortable because I've had my partner in my back side.
Is it also because you're kind of used to his shape and size?
Yeah, I'm definitely used to his shape and size. And I think also I know he'll work at my speed automatically. Like even if I'm like just shove it in, he'll still go slow, like regardless, knowing I could just be in that euphoric brain of being like, oh my God, I just want it. But he's like, I'm still going slow. So you just have that in place. And I know John would do the exact same thing.
Yeah, no accidental truffle bottle.
Oh my God, not the truffle bottle.
If you want more explanation of that, go back to the previous episode. Anyway, moving on. But I'll add to this is, I agree. And that's how, Michelle and I have done it whenever we've done DP. But I would add, have a thorough clean, do some prep and up to a day before. You might have to alter your diet, enemas and things like that, just to make sure you're nice and clean, because knowing that you're not going to have an accident or something unintentional comes out can help you feel obviously more comfortable and relaxed in that moment as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you guys are ever looking for something to help you with that, our wonderful sponsors, Flirt, can help you with that. I don't know if we were meant to talk about them yet, but I thought enemas and toys, fuck it, let's go to our favourite people. So flirtadultstore.com.au, give our wonderful guest our 15% off. The code is...
Play Safe 15.
No,
that's Secret 15.
Yes, and then it'll come down at the below. Use it anytime you check out with Flirt, and they ship Australia-wide. So if you need an enema on the quick, or you want to jump into one of their stores, you can even go grab it from them.
You can even check out some of our previous episodes where Jess showed off some of her butt plugs.
Oh, yeah. I have a wide collection from them.
Is desensitizing anal lube still a thing?
It's not really. I wouldn't recommend it because then once the senses come back and you've got something inside, the panic is even worse, and then you grip even harder and you can tear inside. Okay. And this is coming from some of my gay friends that I've spoken to. They also have really good anal lube as well. So I find anal silicone lube is my go-to.
Yeah, silicone lube is also another thing. It's just like at least silicone lube, not water-based.
Water-based absorbs.
It dries up way too quick. You need silicone lube.
I
don't know what the difference between regular silicone and anal silicone lube is, but...
It's got a bit more of an oily ointment sort of... I don't know what the product is in it, but the actual one from Flirt is called Thrust, but it's from Wet Stuff. That's the one I get.
Cool.
And it's good. I like it. Go for it. Tell me more. Tell me more about what I remember.
All right, next message is from Cloud7. Here's a question for either of them. We are people, you know.
Oh my God.
Ideally both. Going back in go back into memory lane and tell us a situation where your boundaries were crossed and how you dealt with it. Did you tell the other person or couple? What did you do from there on out?
So I've got one in the top of my head when you were reading that. I was trying to think. I've got one where a boundary was crossed when Jamie and myself were together. So not with us, but it was Jamie and myself. And we were with another couple, and this is when we'd first just started doing swinging and exploring what we were comfortable with, and we had a rule of always just in the same room. And then the girl had crossed a line and taken Jamie out of the room, which made him feel uncomfortable. And then I was like, oh, where did Jamie go? And I think that uncomfortableness then kind of grew, and she got really intoxicated. So she was like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, let's all just keep drinking. And I was like, no, I'd rather us just talk about it and be like, this is why. So then you have a better understanding, rather than me feeling like I'm like, oh, you can't do this, and getting grumpy and being like the bad person. I wanted her to understand so it wasn't a brush off feeling. But I mean, we just spoke about it, and I just kept pushing to make sure we spoke about it, and then we sort of fixed a solution. I mean, that's off the top of my head. I can think of one.
Yeah. For me personally, see, I have this, I don't know, it's not a thing, but I'm typically pretty relaxed with the rules. There are some that are like just hard and fast, like wearing protection and things like that. But generally, most situations I'm comfortable with, and unless something has been explicitly like agreed upon before, like stick to it. That being said, I find myself usually in the position of having boundaries pushed with me, or I've pushed the boundary or broken a rule. Does that make sense?
Like you're more likely,
I'm usually the culpable one.
Yeah, you're more likely to ask for forgiveness by
accident. If I'm in, okay, there's two scenarios I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
I might do something inadvertently that pushes boundaries or breaks a rule for Michelle.
Yeah.
Then the converse situation is someone might do something that sort of isn't in line with our boundaries, and then I've got to be the one to address it because it's happened to me, or it's happening
in a situation where
it's like
okay,
so there's been with that, and I think they kind of both tie to the same thing. Sometimes I'm just like not so great at it's because I would be okay with it. I do struggle to empathize or see why how this could be a problem for my partner, in this case Michelle, in that moment, because I feel like doing that thinking takes quite a bit of mental energy. Maybe not for some, but for me definitely does. So I can often step into that that rule breaking or boundary pushing, to me inadvertently, but to obviously Michelle, it's just like, what the hell what's wrong with you?
Yeah, like why would you do?
And so that's tough to deal with, because it's sort of like, oh, but I would be okay with this, but I've got to remember that it's not about what I'm okay with. It's what she's okay with, therefore what we're okay with.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of work for me internally, just sort of try and reshape my thinking about, just because of my standards are just different. And I'm finding just actually quite rare in the non-monogamy scene in general. Then the opposite is when something would happen to me or to us where I should be stepping in or saying something, and historically I've not been great at being vocal about, hey, you did something, or don't do that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Historically, because I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't.
Like
it's like kind of
No,
it's just, I mean, for want of a better word, just being cowardly about it. I don't want to upset the other person, even though I know I'm uncomfortable with it. I know my partner's going to be uncomfortable with this. I really should be saying something, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to upset them. And it's just like, who gives a fuck? Like, you know?
Yeah, your partner should come
and,
first.
you know, upon reflection afterwards, it's like, I can't even sometimes follow my own advice that I tout on this podcast. And it's just like, but look, I'm just trying to show that I'm human and I have these foibles and qualities that I want to work on. I am getting better at just sort of saying, oh, no, and just like, oh, no, we're going to do it a different way and just redirecting.
Yeah.
But I'm also getting a lot better at having the conversation right up front about what, especially if it's like Michelle and I about to go into a play situation, I'm way more comfortable now saying, this is what we like, this is what we would like to do. How does that sit with you?
Yeah.
What are yours?
Just
Tell me
kinda like
about yours.
practice
And like,
makes
yeah, but
perfect.
having that consent conversation, we like to do X, Y, Z, and we would like to do X, Y, Z with you. What do you think? You know, and then,
Yeah.
and I've found like, and definitely this is where I've taken my own advice, where it's like, that has led to way hotter sessions because everyone's like going, ooh, that's hot. Let's play in that bound. Let's play
Don't
in
know
that
why I felt
playground.
like you just
It's
burnt
kind of
yourself.
like, I'm thinking, and I'm just coming up with this now. It's like, we've got a big playground of different things that we can do with different scenarios and all that. So it's just like,
Yeah.
which particular sandbox are we going to play in today? And it's
Yeah.
like, these are the rules of this sandbox. And it's just
Yeah.
like, over there we do other things, but we're not doing that today.
I get the analogy. I'm just going to use anything but sand because a sand in vagina is not a good time, guys. So maybe a pool.
So I hope that answers the question. It's just like, look, it does happen where boundaries do get crossed. Sometimes people don't speak up in the moment. Like I've
Yeah.
definitely had things where they've happened to me and I'm like, I wasn't comfortable with that. And then, you know, Michelle was going, why didn't you say anything? Like it looked like you haven't. I was like, no, I was actually really uncomfortable. It's like, why didn't you say anything? I was just like,
Didn't want to ruin the moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting character thing. It comes down to like your personalities in almost a sense. Because I know, knowing you guys separately, I can see how both of your examples where you were pulling up that person, that's very Jess. How you're describing that situation is very Lawrence. So,
Yeah.
you know, it is a part of yourselves to
You got to
sort
work
of,
to your strengths, right?
yeah, to realize about yourself, but also like it's good that your partners are very forgiving of those sides of yourself,
True.
whether they're for good or for worse, you know?
Yeah.
Very true. All right, give it to me, Lawrence. What's the next one?
I think this is the last one
Ooh, lucky
from
last.
Dave Darker Smurf. Hey, Gabe, one for Jess. Jess, this is for you.
Hi.
As I understand it, Jess got into the lifestyle because of Lawrence. If Jess hadn't met Lawrence, does she think she would have gotten into the lifestyle regardless? There's more questions, but maybe answer that one and we can answer the next.
Yes. Yes, I definitely would have. I was a sexual kind of being, watching lots of porn and exploring different things. I think I've had my first sex toy when I was 13 or 14. I remember it was a pink rabbit. I bought it. I was really curious. So I think especially when Lawrence had approached me and told me about the idea, being so open came naturally. So I think even if it wasn't for Lawrence introducing me, I think down the track I would have figured out a way to get my sexual being out there.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay, what was
Yes.
the second part of the question?
All right, this one's for both of us.
Okay.
It's a little on, so he says, a little on the darker side, but it can't all be roses. What is either the biggest negative about getting into the lifestyle or biggest regret?
I fucking feel stumped. Biggest negative
Or regret?
or regret?
I can maybe speak to a few I've heard from previous episodes where you've
Yeah.
spoken about like
Need help.
parenting, and like there's the parenting episode that we have. Go check that out if you haven't already, where you talk about, you know, being so public about your public personas and whatnot, and how that might influence your kids later on.
Yeah.
You did mention that as a potential negative side to being in the lifestyle or explaining that to your kids.
Yeah,
That was one of the key ones you brought up in the past, but there might be others.
I don't know. Do you have something?
I've got some,
right,
but
think of yours.
I'm going to be a bit of a bastard and sort of turn on its head. Look, there are things that come with being in this lifestyle, and especially like Gabe saying, being public and it being my livelihood
Yeah.
and sort of like living and breathing this lifestyle. It has cost a lot, you know, with relationships and all the rest of it. But that being said, like it might sound woo, but it's just like it's not regrets for me because all these things happen and, you know, shape your life and it's you might do things that aren't great, or maybe you would have made a different choice had you gone back. But I actually don't want to go back and make different choices. I am where I am. I'm here because of all those decisions. I'm a culmination of all the decisions and things that have happened to me over my life. So I'm here to just accept that's, there has been a price that I've paid to be part of this lifestyle in the manner in which I participate. And it does sometimes suck. It is hard, but I don't regret it. It just can be sometimes a bit shit.
Yeah. I think the only negative I can think of is being the face of the club, or at least being so open. Sometimes I find it difficult because I don't know who my group is sometimes. But more in when I'm talking to people, I put on the Jess show, the Jess face and stuff. I have a persona. And so then sometimes that can translate in differently to other people. So then I confuse myself and I try and figure out wait, do you want to talk to me because I'm Jess at the club, or do you want to talk to me because you like me? And then I would do the overthinking thing. And I think that's probably my only real negative, because I'm an overthinker and I spiral myself out. But I think that's also helped me then learn to just communicate and be what do you want from this? I don't know. That's I've tried to rack my brain for something negative. That was as negative as I could think of. I don't know.
Mine goes back to my previous answer about the things that I've learned about myself and being, somewhat bit more, I don't want to say anomaly, but rarer in the sense that it's my boundaries or my okayness with things, especially when it comes to my partners or other people. There's very little that's going to upset me. Very little. Whereas, I find that most people have got quite a few more things on that list, whatever that may be for them, and not really sort of knowing this or paying conscious attention to that, or thinking worse. What it was a few years ago that I came to this realization that everyone else, why isn't everyone else like me? Why, you must all be doing it wrong, kind of thing. If you've got all these hang-ups, maybe you're not ready for non-monogamy or swinging or whatever it is. Whereas I had to come to the understanding, it's just maybe you're a little bit strange in this situation, and people do have a lot of these things that they've got to work through. So I've just had to sort of accept that and then try to, but then when I look back at some of the damage that has caused, as I spoke about, where it's just I've not respected or withheld boundaries for myself or from others, that the cost of that.
Yeah, it's like a hand-in-hand sort of thing, unfortunately. All right, let's get something a little bit brighter, guys.
Was that too deep?
I loved it.
That was
loved
deep and
it.
dark, and
it's beautiful.
If we can't tell, roses and sunshines and lollipops and fuck me candy. So let's bring some candy back into it, please.
Of course, we can.
And can I slide something in real quick, because I actually want to talk about where I get my candy from. Because I shouldn't be eating as much candy as I do, but my doctor has all my candy right now. So getting my pathology test done with Stigma Health. I love it. Both the boys are looking at me like, what the fuck are we on about?
It's your doctor has all your candy, but
my doctor has
this person never heard of Woolworths?
Have you never gone to the doctors and then after you get a blood test, they give you a jelly bean to make sure you don't faint?
No.
Oh my God, come to my doctor. My doctor's amazing. However, if you don't want to do that, you can also use our beautiful friends from Stigma Health's 20% off discount code to get your pathology referral emailed to you, so you can go in to your pathologist without any of the drama of seeing a doctor. The code is Secret Spot 20. It'll be down below if you need to see it. Jump on in. You can get a single pack. You can get a multiple pack. And if you want to know where my doctor is, they're in Balmain and they're amazing, and they do actually have jelly pops.
Yeah, that's Secret Spot 20.
Yes. Amazing. So I hear we've got a video that Gabe is going to send our way for us to watch. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got a few there, Jess.
Cool.
So the first one you can just play, but I think just play off one of your phones and both of you watch it, if that's okay. Maybe just lean over together, and we'll have Jake put it in post. But this is from the first video that you'll probably see is from a couple of familiar faces.
Hello, I'm Bradford.
And I'm Angela.
And we're here from By the By Podcast. We've been friends with Lawrence and Jess for a very long time. And we have a couple of questions. First,
In the time that you've owned Our Secret Spot, how has your relationship with swinging changed?
Second is, what is one missed opportunity that you really regret not grabbing by the whatever? But in the meantime, we've got company that we need to entertain. So we better go.
Yes.
See ya.
They just look like the quintessential swingers in that. They're just like in the bathrooms, like with their sexy mood lighting and apparatuses in the background. Like, oh yeah.
When they sent me that, I was like, you guys have gone above and beyond with this video.
Yeah,
like,
can we cue the Duff Man?
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Bow. What's that song? I don't know.
God, I love those guys.
All right, back onto the
Okay,
questions. Wait, what was the first one?
Okay. The first question was, how has our relationship with swinging changed since owning Our Secret Spot? Do you want to go first? Because my swinging relationship just kind of grew. Mine's pretty basic. Like, it hasn't changed. It just grew pretty much. So I think this is more a you question.
So mine is, it's grown, it's changed, it's done lots of different things. So before owning OSS was in, I suppose, swinging and non-monogamy, like going around to parties and stuff like that. Then after opening OSS, it was like that, but just on steroids, because we had the venue it was our venue, and like we could meet so many more people this way, and then we could partake and meet lots of people that, we got along with and played a lot over those nights and weekends at the club or after the club or anything like that. Late nights into early morning, all of that, like this party, rock and roll sort of type lifestyle. And then it's changed a little bit, as I spoke to in the previous episode, like when our relationship was coming to an end and starting a new relationship with someone new, readjusting, I guess, all the boundaries and the comfort levels around that. And it's gone, and yeah, we're doing sometimes the poly thing, you and I together, that has changed a lot. And then as the business itself has grown, has sort of, I guess, made me feel like it's forced my hand in a way, just because it's my own work ethic, where it's like, I'm responsible for this team now, and a lot of them I don't know very well. And like I said, to maintain a professional work environment, I don't feel like me having sex in front of them is quite professional.
Yeah.
So there's that element where I step back because I don't want them to be exposed to that, as well as them becoming a parent has really changed things hugely. Just mostly by time. It was just like, there's just not enough time to do all the, the rock and roll lifestyle stuff, It's just like I want to be there for my wife and our son, rather than, partying into the wee hours of the morning. So, yeah, and it's just coming to being okay with stepping in, stepping out, doing this, doing that, not committed to any one particular thing except Michelle and I.
Like a salsa. Sometimes you sway to the left, sometimes you sway to the right. But yeah, no, I agree with what Lawrence has said as well. Like, my swinging journey sort of started from the club. So it didn't change. I think it's just more grown. And I think, if anything, I've had to learn balance. And if anyone asks, I'm a shit juggler. So my balance is everywhere. So sometimes I'm like up here, and then sometimes I'm rock bottom. So I'm still in the shifting, adjusting, changing. And the parent life has definitely helped me find more stability and figuring out, okay, this is more of what I need to do, which is why I think sometimes when I'm at the club, I'm like, oh, I'm taking this idea back home with me. I want to do this on another night, but it's going to be set up. So I think that's helped me shift and adjust. And then on to the second question, biggest regrets or missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. I don't know. I feel like I've made up for some of the missed opportunities that I felt like I had. Like, there was a few times where I think some of my experiences I had some of our experiences that I'd had back in our old club when we were together, when we opened this club and I've now with Jamie, I'm like, oh, I'd actually like to do that again. But then I've gone, wait, I can do that again. I'll just ask. I don't know why my brain went into, oh, it's happened already, you can't do it. And I think retraining my programming to be like, oh no, I can definitely have sex, or I can do DP, or I can do this. I just have to ask. So they weren't really missed opportunities, but they were little key symbols to be like, okay, you can actually do this. Let's do that.
The way I interpret that question is like, well, the way I'm going to respond to that question is, but my missed opportunities for me is usually around someone that I didn't get to play with because for one reason or another, when it's just like it just didn't work out at that time. And it's like, fuck.
Do you have somebody in mind?
There's no one. This is the.
Does yours fizzle out? Mine fizzle out. Like
Yeah.
I can't tell you in pinpoint to be like. Maybe at the time I was in heat and I'm like, oh, that guy was really hot.
Yeah.
I can't fucking picture them now. Like they could walk past me in the street and I'm like, who are they?
That's exactly what I've had
Okay,
to come
cool.
to grips with because, like, you know, especially being at the club a lot and seeing lots of hot people and then sometimes getting overtly propositioned and for whatever, like, especially if I'm here now working and it's just like, no, sorry, that's not the vibe tonight. And being going, oh, man. So that used to be a lot of how I used to feel. I mean, even like when you and I are together, I'd have those feelings and it's just like, oh, didn't get to
sad
fuck
puppy
that,
dog
you know.
face had come out.
You know, that hot girl, blah, blah, blah. But now, as you can hear, it's just like they're just this abstract memory of someone that, you know, maybe I didn't get to have sex with.
Yeah.
And that's what I've had to teach myself. And just because when I sit back and reflect, I go, think of all the missed opportunities you've had, Lawrence. Can you remember anyone's name, face in particular? No. So in that moment while you're going, oh, man, in a day or two, you ain't going to remember shit. Who cares?
That's true. And also if you're anything like me, I'm a goldfish.
It's not like Emily Blunt came in here and she was just like, I'm here for the owner. I just want to.
What makes you think you're getting Emily Blunt over me?
It's my fucking hypothetical. It's my fantasy.
Oh my God.
Shut the fuck up. If she came in and go, I just wanted to fuck that owner Lawrence. And I'm just like, oh, sorry. I'm like, I've got to be at home tonight. I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on from the impossible. We've got here,
Way to be negative, everyone.
we've got here an audio sent in from our good friend Misha, and she is she works for the girls skirt club.
Yeah, Skirt Club.
Skirt Club. Don't know why I had that
Here
in my
in Sydney.
notes. And here in Sydney, she works
Yeah.
for Skirt Club, good friend of ours, and she sent in an audio message, which I'm going to play now, and you guys just listen in.
I have a question for you, Lawrence and Jess. Since becoming parents, with obviously running a sex club, how do you manage daycare, drop-off pickups, or being in a parent circle that's outside of the community? Has that changed in any way? Have you noticed people looking at you or ask questions? If so, how do you navigate it? Being a parent myself, there are some days where I have a bit of guilt thinking, oh, is some other parent going to see me? Are they going to judge me or my children? Those thoughts obviously are intrusive thoughts. But yeah, I'm just curious on how you guys manage, if at all, those feelings that I have.
Okay. So, yeah, I do have, I mean, we spoke about this on our parenting podcast episode. So if you want to hear more detail about that, go to that episode. But link down in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I do have, I suppose, fear, for want of a better word, a bit of a fear around the inevitability that I'm going to get recognized for what I do and obviously the lifestyle that I'm participating in. And, you know, generally, I suppose people who recognize me probably come to the club or have been to the club. That's why they would recognize me. But I'm aware that I do other mainstream media appearances, so people might, who are not a part of it, may recognize me. And the backlash or the treatment that I might receive, but worse yet, what might happen to my son because of that. You know, my son's at an age now where he's making friends. He's got a really good friend at daycare, and you know, it's becoming more and more evident that, you know, we're going to have to befriend the parents, at least to the point like to help facilitate play dates or something like this,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever it is. And the inevitable question comes up of what do you do? And I mean, I guess I've always said I'm just going to have to be honest, because how long can I keep the lie up for? And, you know, I suppose when you get one-on-one time with people, you can probably explain yourself a little bit better. But when you have just people talking about it without your knowledge or you being able to put your input in, it does become a little bit harder. It's just like there's that skeezy sex club owner. I wonder what the hell are they teaching their boy or whatever, anything like that.
You find it harder because you're a male as well. Like I feel like I'm quite fortunate with when it comes to like the group of people that I particularly, and Jamie and myself hang out with our son. We have friends who are all the exact same age, like similar age to us, but our sons and daughters are all the same age. So like that's kind of like that little close group, and we all kind of go around the same daycare areas.
But surely you're going to run into people who are not part of your group. And
Yeah, I've just sort of just been honest, honestly, and I don't know. I just feel like I've been, like I said, been fortunate enough to not really have anyone turn up the nose. So I haven't had to think about it. But I do wonder if it's because it's coming from a female. It's a bit less like, I don't know, tiny. I don't know. Maybe that's a thought that just crossed my mind that maybe they're not as harsh with a female.
I don't know.
Or
I have no idea what the proclivities are of society as a whole towards men and women in that respect. But yeah, I guess I'm just going to have to deal with it on a case by case basis. If someone wants to snub us because of what I do, that's just going to have to be it. I think I'm more afraid for what happens to our son. Like if he loses a friend because their parents say you can't hang out with him anymore because of what their dad does on whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, ironically, I'd want to go and smack those parents in the face, but then I'm just feeding right into their belief system, right? But that's how I would feel about it. I'm just like, you fucking jerks. But I'm just gonna have to, I guess, sit my son down. I don't tell him, obviously age appropriate. Just like they just had a problem with me. It's not about you, you know. And then one day he's gonna have to learn what
you do
what I do for a living.
Yeah,
I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you. So guys, look at the first video. It's a part one of a two-part video from our good friends Jess and Paul.
Yeah.
I am super excited for you guys to see this one, and I don't know how much we're going to be able to show of it on this video episode. But
I feel like she's going to flash.
Well, I don't know, maybe.
Is there a lot of black bars and?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jake's going to enjoy editing this. That's all I'm going to say.
Hi guys, Paul and Jess here. This is just a bit of a multifaceted question. Just wondering how you navigate, obviously being previously in a relationship and then having now new partners, and obviously spending quite a lot of time together on the business. How do you navigate that? Does that cause any issues in the current relationship, and how do you navigate that, etc.? And also, I'd just like to reiterate that my wife does have amazing tits.
Woo!
Thanks, guys.
I was gonna say, I was like, they looked so like both of them are crossed arms. They looked like angry, and they're asking a question, and they're like, "Titties."
It was a mislead.
I know, right? They looked angry, but they weren't. So how do we navigate working together after being in a relationship? I think we kind of answered it a little bit.
And the impacts it has on our current.
Yeah, previously.
See part one, because for listeners who haven't listened to part one, that talks a lot to that
yeah.
already. But you guys feel free to elaborate.
It hasn't impacted my relationship. At least this is my perspective. Like from my relationship with Jamie, it hasn't impacted us in a way that he has felt like ever jealous of us working on the business together, or ever had that, I don't know, the anger or anything negative towards. His only ever hang up, or at least anything that's caused friction in our relationship, is that I spend so much time here, and it's more. He's had to put a backseat in some of the things that he does in his work and career life because I've put more of a front seat and wanted to take full control of stuff in here. So I think that's probably been at least the biggest impact in how it's changed, because I've had to grow a relationship whilst also maintaining this relationship, but the venue more itself. And I think I don't have a happy medium. I have a 0 or 100. So it's when it's at 100, something has to take 0. And I think sometimes, unfortunately, that's had to be Jamie. But we're fairly good at now communicating when, maybe I don't need to be at the club 4 nights in a row, and I could maybe just stay until 10 o'clock instead of staying till 2 o'clock in the morning. So we talk about things that's going to work. So I'm not having to give up, but compromise.
Yeah. For me, working with Jess, especially after breaking up, had its definite challenges, because obviously there's emotional stuff there. We know how to push each other's buttons really effectively, as people do after being together for 8 years, and then now still in a relationship.
We still know how to push each other's buttons very well.
And the impact on my current relationship is much the same as Jess. It's not necessarily about Jess. It's just like the real mistress in my life is the club. And
well, if you call it the mistress, of course it
does take up a lot of my time. I'd get the most dressed up for her. I put a lot of thought and energy into my time with her.
You wake up thinking about her.
I do wake up thinking about her. She keeps me up at night.
No wonder, no.
And Jess is an extension of that, right? She's here. It's just like, it has been brought up in passing. It's just like, you do realize that, like, you work with your ex, and
spend an awful amount of time.
It's not that she's saying I don't want you to, or you're up to something. It's just that she's going, I hope you appreciate that there is a lot of patience here for this. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Jamie's been he's almost been like, it's both our partners are super understanding to have also worked through us during those stages where we were pushing buttons and being a bit up and down. Both of them were our partners.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was an angel post-breakup.
Really?
Anyway.
But yeah, I think both our partners are saints being able to like manage not only our emotions when we'd come home and have these like, Lawrence did this today or Jessica did that. And then also having to deal with the fact that Lawrence's name would come up and Jamie's like, okay, today I'm not hearing about Lawrence and work. So that can also be difficult where, sometimes you do not have to reflect about that, because most of the time when you break up, you don't work with your partner or your ex. Like you're done, right? So I don't know. We made it work. We still make it work. Yeah.
Here we are.
That was nice.
Yeah. Is there a part 2?
Yeah.
Yes. Is there more tits?
No.
Well, that's a ruiner.
Sorry.
Jess, more tits. Okay.
Part 2s are never as good as part 1s. I'm sorry.
Except it's The Godfather. Or
Well, yeah.
I've never watched
Or
The
Lord of the
Godfather.
Rings. Or Star Wars. Actually, forget what I
The
said.
Hobbit. I liked The Hobbit part 2. That was really good. Okay. All right.
I also have a question. This one's more for Jess. A little advice on how you would navigate if you were in a situation where you're playing with an extra male involved. What would you do to not make it awkward if he couldn't get it up? And you don't want to make him feel bad and you don't want to feel bad. And how would you make it less awkward? Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
You stand in the corner until you can get an erection, while my husband does.
Okay,
his
so
job.
this situation, it's actually probably the best timing, because this situation has happened before to me and quite recently as well, where the other male got a bit of stage fright, and it wasn't the first time that we'd had a threesome together. So it wasn't like, he had those jittery or the nerves. It just happened to be a situation. It wasn't in his head. He didn't feel right. Normally I would just resort to putting a bit more focus and being like, hey, just go grab a drink or just have a chill for a bit. Me and Jamie are going to play for a little bit, or me and the other person's just going to play. We're just going to be here. When you're feeling more comfortable, come join. But giving him a breather, just having that like taking full focus off him completely, because I think that situation's already heightened that he's wanting to please you. I try and put that focus and be like, I'm going to go and please him for a bit, put everything into that, and then I'm coming back for you. So there's like a build up again in his mind. Whereas this particular situation where it happened, I actually said, because I knew the person quite well and we had sex a few times, so I had said, sit down, I'm going to give you a lap dance. Now, this is very out of jest. Like, I used to be a dancer, but I don't normally do that. But I knew he was in his head. He was in a different kind of mindset. He'd had a bad day at work. So I kind of was like, fuck it. I'm going to do something that will like shock him a little bit, shock Jamie as well. And I was like, I'm going to give you guys a lap dance. Like, we were already like mid-sex and stuff. So I put on a little lingerie set, got back up, started dancing, and it all kind of revamped everything back up. But that was just a one-off scenario with that one. But I think the first one's a bit better towards what I think is better to do when the guy's in a little bit of a funk. Thoughts? Do you feel like that if you were the person that was...
It's tough
stuck?
in a threesome with two guys where obviously it's, I spoke in the last episode about sort of just taking the focus off your penis and just being able to like give a massage, but that might not necessarily work when another guy is there, and in particular if that guy is the woman's husband or whatever it is, their main partner.
It's hard to do.
It might be a bit weird. Like, do you mind standing back while I massage your wife? That might be weird in itself. So that is a tricky situation where, but Michelle's experienced this a lot as well, where the other guy couldn't get an erection, or I've been part of a threesome with another woman and her partner, and he was struggling to get an erection. And Michelle was like, she says it like jokingly or whatever, but so I think there's a bit of seriousness. She goes, sometimes you and your fucking big dick need to just fucking stay away until the guy is established and feeling comfortable, and then you can come in and, I'm like, so I gotta stand there, like just like with a towel on, like facing the corner, like I'm not here. You can't see me.
I don't know why, but I can actually picture her saying, like, Lawrence, can you just sit in the corner for 5 minutes?
Yeah, you're,
so I can make
you're
this
ruining
situation?
it. He is frightened.
But also, you have a bit more of a different demeanor, as at least in a sexual situation, because because of the club, B, because you have that sort of stance, whatever demeanor. So I think,
Physical presence.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I couldn't think of what it was, so I just tried to show it all over my body. But yeah, I think just sometimes it's easier, like, just be like, you sit in the corner. I know you're ready. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm going to make him ready.
Yeah. I don't have
Michelle's
anything
confident in doing that.
I don't have anything really neat to how to navigate that situation, especially if you're not feeling or he's not feeling great.
I know actually, if your partner is comfortable.
I know.
Yeah.
Open the door. Next!
And this is why we're not afraid to tell Lawrence to sit in the corner. And the last little bit to wrap it all up is just the tip.
Bang, bang, bang. Yes, and it is called Reddit. You hear that? Reddit, you hear that? If you haven't heard, Swapping Secrets fans,
Reddit?
OSS fans, we're on Reddit right now. Go check us out on Reddit. Follow us.
Wait, the podcast?
Both
Or
of
the
them, podcast and the club, both of you guys.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so go check it out. The podcast one specifically is just Swapping Secrets Pod.
Yes.
We couldn't do the full podcast name because we ran out of characters, but that's okay. We got
on,
Pod.
Reddit. Like, jeez,
Get your shit
Character
together,
limits.
Reddit. But speaking
Hello,
of
2010. Twitter's calling. They want their IDs back.
yeah,
X.
yeah.
It's called X.
Yeah, but
Yeah, used to be Twitter.
2010's Twitter. Oh my God, Jess.
I'm sorry.
So Jess is just too with it. But anyway, look, what this segment is about, Reddit, you hear that, is there's a lot of communities on Reddit, as you're probably aware of, that are swinging communities, poly communities. There's, places for new people to sort of understand what the swinging lifestyle is about. There's ethically non-monogamous communities. So I've extracted some of the top posts from those communities and put them as screenshots for you guys to just read out. And there's questions within there that a lot of the people in those communities have answered to already, but this is an opportunity for you guys live to answer to them.
All right. Do you want me to go?
Sure.
All right. So in the subreddit ethical non-monogamy, my wife is going to see our first bull tonight. I'm both excited and a little bit anxious, but in a good way. Any side on how to pass the time or things I can do around the house to make her feel like a goddess when she comes home?
Run a bath. I am such a after I've been fucked, I'm dirty, I've got sweat, lube has found its way behind my ear, don't ask me how, a really hot shower or a bath, and I am in heaven. And normally I'm not a water person, but I think just that's something you can do. Or
I mean, you could do that if you want to make her feel like she's a princess and needs to go to bed. But if you want to make her feel like a goddess, embrace that first feeling of excited. When she comes home, you have your rock hard cock there and say, come fucking here, daddy's going to take that pussy back. And fuck the shit out of her while she tells you what that bull did to her.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes.
I can always tell he does this little look down and look up, look down. All right.
That's depending on your dynamic.
So we can either have the princess experience or the goddess experience.
If you're going for the cuckold thing, maybe she whips you like a little bitch into the corner and tells you how his cock was so much bigger and better.
You mean the live streaming wasn't enough?
And then how his impotent, flaccid little thing is not enough. And then
you can
maybe that's hot for you guys.
No, you can play the game where you take a picture and you say, which hole was it in?
Oh.
I actually have played that game. It's quite fun. Anyway, we digress. What is the next one?
Shall I go?
Yes, please.
In another subreddit, non-monogamy, friends with benefits wants me to finish inside her, looking for advice on appropriate boundaries.
Looking for advice on appropriate boundaries. Friends with benefits. I would, if you're a if you're a partnered person, that would be a conversation you need to have with your partner, not with the friends with benefit. You need to check in with your partner. Your boundaries and your rules with your partner outweigh a friends with benefit, at least in my opinion, but it should always, because that's your home base, that's your that's your primary, that's where you should go.
So if I want to tackle this question in a couple of different ways. One, if you're in a relationship with someone where that is, okay, let's assume that is not a complete no-no, but something that can be negotiated. Obviously, it needs to be a discussion. Obviously, we would recommend getting a sexual health screening and the protocols around that, not being having unprotected sex with anyone in between doing the test and having that unprotected sex, I think. But, I would go to someone way more legitimate than me for medical advice.
Could it also be finish inside me with a condom though? I've had.
I mean, I get the implication of this is this is actually giving me a cream pie. Okay.
Because I've had a few people, couples go, my partner can never finish inside of anyone else but myself, as that's their take back. So they can be in the middle of an orgy and they have to come with them. Whereas I'm but anyway, if you come, you come. Enjoy.
Anyway, that would be obviously the conversation you need to have. Obviously, if it's a complete no-no, it's a complete no-no. You shouldn't be having that conversation. But just say you're a single person. But actually, not just if you're a single person. The only other consideration is what are the products? If you've got the safe sex sorted, have you had the discussion about pregnancy? What happens if this friends with benefits gets pregnant from what's the birth control situation? The only thing you can do as a guy really at the moment is have a vasectomy. Might be a bit drastic just for one date.
Very drastic for one day. Fuck.
Is she on birth control? Do you trust that she's on birth control? To me, that's a whole range of things.
There's a lot of questions to be asked that I think the questions outweigh the risk.
Or that's just a hot fantasy and it's just let's roll the dice and that's what's hot. I'm into that too.
You know what? She said finish inside of her. So what needs to be inside of her when you finish? I understand your penis, but let's make it let's get a loophole. And you could be fingering her while she comes and then you finish. Then you're still inside of her. You've got fingers in her. I don't know. I'm trying to find a loophole for you. I know that's what it said. And reading down in the paragraph a bit more, the risk doesn't outweigh the
trust has to be there. If trust is not there, then it's never a good idea, right?
Yeah. So. And from reading all the way down, I think stick with your guns on condoms and whatnot.
And your gut.
And your gut. And your dick.
The next subreddit is from Swingers by Playful Naughty Couple. All right. So we're looking for a couple and single guys. We have been getting a few guys who contacted us and say they are married but have a hall pass. We have heard a variety of stories. She lost interest in sex, has a medical condition, but said, I can do what I want, she has a boyfriend and we are in an open marriage. The list goes on. We are not opposed to a married guy, but want to confirm his hall pass. Is this normal to confirm hall pass, or are we being crazy and overthinking it? Last thing we want is drama or to be a home wrecker. So far, almost everyone says something like, oh, that would make her really uncomfortable. She doesn't want to know anything about it, or some other BS line. Do you guys confirm hall passes? If so, how? Thanks in advance.
Yes, we do. 100%. Because I think a hall pass is a discussion that has been had with that partner. So if she's uncomfortable with it, it could just be in a text shown to him and being like, here, like if she doesn't want to speak to you, like it doesn't have to be you speak to her personally, but even just being like, look, my partner has sent me a message saying, yes, I'm comfortable with this, to me is enough. But I just think if you're not getting confirmation, is it really a hall pass?
There's a couple of things here I want to unpack. Number one is, if you're the guy online and you're being duplicitous, why even say you have a partner in any way and add that extra hurdle?
People like having that naughty factor to them, though. It's a very common thing with some of the married men that I've seen on like dating apps, where they show pictures of their wives to kind of drag people in and be like, oh, but I've got a hall pass to play with, like those sort of people.
They're up front look like a couple, but
correct.
not really. Okay,
yeah, so I'm picturing more of that rather than an actual married. Like it's more of a sneaky side sort of fantasy.
Look, I don't doubt there are situations out there like this where one partner is saying, I'm happy for you to do whatever you want sexually with other people. Don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to know about it though. Just make sure to please use a condom and don't bring anything home with you. I'm sure those situations, those relationships exist. They might be rare, but I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah.
This couple, if anyone is out there, it's like asking, how do you verify? If you're having that thing where you feel like you want to verify, and you mean even in this person's statement is any other BS line, so they already got the bullshit radar up, right? Yeah. So if it's something that's important to you, just go with it. And if anyone who doesn't want to play that game with you, they're not the fucking people for you. Yeah. It's always that simple. If they're not respecting a boundary of yours, then just move on and go to the next person to find someone who does. Yeah. How to verify? I would always say you need to at least have a phone conversation. Anyone can just give you another number and that could be the same person just texting, hi babes, yeah, totally fine, go fuck him, he's got a big ding dong, whatever.
Clearly that one's bullshit.
It could be anyone on the other end of a text. At least if you're trying to call, at least there's a female voice. It might be his sister, who fucking knows, but
oh my God.
There's some other fucked up shit going on.
You know what? Who is your hall pass though? To end it on a really positive and fun note, if you like,
I think I already discussed this. Like Emily Blunt.
Is it only Emily Blunt? There has to be like a celebrity hall. Like I've always spoken to Jamie about this. Mads Mikkelsen is my go-to.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, I say Emily Blunt. I don't know how Michelle would still feel if I just say I was at the club, Emily Blunt was there, and I just ramrobbed her. Like, it was great.
I get a high five because I've spoken about it before. I mean, like, if Mads Mikkelsen's in the club or in a situation and he's like, do you want to fuck? I'd be like, where? Maybe
I have to ask Michelle seriously. I go, no, seriously. if like, this actually happened, is this okay? But no, we don't have a whole pass thing or anything like that.
Fair enough.
Mine would be, if you care to hear.
Tell us, Gabe.
Was my first sexual awakening, Cameron Diaz from The Mask.
Cameron Diaz from The Mask. It has to be from The Mask. Yeah.
Wow.
In that gold dress when she's singing in Cabaret.
All right. So I guess I'm watching The Mask tonight, guys. Fuck.
Yeah.
And if it's modern day, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer.
Yep. Thank you. I needed a movie.
What a gorgeous man. That's my 2 cents.
He's a little bit gaunt in there.
He is a little bit, yeah. I would say more like in Batman.
I was going to say.
And he's
Batman
like
Begins, right?
Sneaky.
He's got those,
the guy who plays
Blinders.
Oh, yeah. Well,
the haircut.
It's how he speaks. A bit off-putting for me. So I'm like, yeah, you can Peaky Blinder me.
Yeah. Him or who's the guy who plays the dirty priest in that what's that show? The British show where she talks to the camera. Now I'm blanking. He's the priest. Oh.
He's a priest.
Someone in the comments, please comment.
My wife will come. She loves him too.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough from me. Let's wrap this up.
All right, Lawrence, you want to pin us our swapping secrets socials, and I'll do our secret spot.
Thanks a lot for listening. If you have any questions or comments, please leave so down below. You can do those on Spotify and YouTube. And if you want to send us a voice message or DM, please do so on all our socials. They're linked in the show notes as well. Don't forget to spank that subscribe button. It really does help us get our show numbers up there.
Yeah. And if you guys feel up for it, don't forget we have all the platforms: Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Reddit. We literally just talked about Reddit. We've got Reddit. And if you love us even more, sign up for our newsletter as well, because you'll get weekly emails, which you will love because some of them have discounts in them.
And most importantly, we hope to see you at the club sometime and have a chat there too. Otherwise, thanks again. Stay sexy. We'll see you at the club or back here on the podcast.
Bye.